Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, namaste, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you to the Blub World Web Talks 248th episode. In the last 247 episodes, we have talked to, interacted with more than 4,000 school leaders on this very platform where they have shared their ideas, opinions, innovations, and what all new are they doing in the education space. तो नमस्कार, आप सभी का स्वागत है ब्लब वर्ल्ड वेब टॉक्स के 248वें एपिसोड में। पिछले 247 एपिसोड में हमने करीबन करीबन 4,000 से ज्यादा शिक्षाविदों से बातचीत की और उनसे ये जानने की कोशिश की कि वो शिक्षा कैसे बदल रहे हैं और शिक्षा उन्हें कैसे बदल रही है। So thank you so much everyone for joining us. Once again, Namaste. I am Daksh. I'm the founder of Blub World Magazine and the World Teen Parliament. I'm very happy to welcome all of you to the 248th episode of the Blub World Web Talks. Before we start this session, just some ground rules. So the Blub World Web Talks is like a speaking sprint. It's like a 100-meter race. So once your speaking time is over, you might get muted. If you get muted, please don't get offended. It's just to keep the activity crisp and entertaining for everyone. Secondly, this is a bilingual platform, so you can use English or Hindi, any of these two languages. I know a lot of teenagers here come from many different backgrounds, multiple languages, but I only understand English and Hindi. So try sticking to any of these two, and preferably English. But if you're not comfortable with English, you can continue in Hindi as well. So let's now start about and talk about the most critical topic that we have interacted with school principals in a long time. Today, in the next 30 to 40 minutes that you're here with us, we'll try to know from you that how to get your parents to understand your dreams and goals. So this is the perspective of a teenager, that as a teenager, what do you think? What is it that makes your parents convinced that yes, my child is, looking towards the right career option? And for a school principal, since you get to interact with both the parties, the parents and the students, what's your perspective on it? What is it that the parents share with you? What is it that the teenagers want to talk to you about? And do you really find a middle ground, or is it a conflict that we are not able to come out of? So thank you so much once again for joining us. Let me invite the first speaker for today to initiate this session on how to get your parents to understand your dreams and goals. The biggest challenge that this topic brings to the fore is there is always a generation gap that comes into play. The parent comes from a very different background, the student comes from a very different context, and it is very difficult to bring them on the same page. So let's know it from our speakers. What do they think, and what are the kind of things that they're doing? What are the kind of possible ways that they use to bring this gap, reduce this gap, make parents aware about what teens want, and making teenagers aware about what parents want. And today, before we actually start with the school leaders, let's start with a teenager. What's their perspective on it? A very warm welcome to Miss Alia Hatata, who's a grade 9 student from Egypt. So Alia, please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and the next 3 minutes are yours, and a very warm welcome.
Good morning. I am Alia Hatata from Antoniadis International School. So, have you ever had a dream that your parents don't understand or support? That is a problem we all face every day. It's because parents seek stability. They don't like taking risks. That's because they were born in different generations, they were raised in different conditions, and they had different challenges and opportunities in the past. They fear the repetition of their own mistakes, and they seek perfection. So our goal here today is to make them see our dreams from our vision, not theirs. There's a few things we have to do to achieve that. Firstly, we have to address their concerns before they state them. For example, if your parents worry about your financial situation, you have to find scholarships that will support your financial aid. And if they worry about your safety, if you're joining a program or something, you have to search safety measures and reassure your parents. And if, like most people, your parents are worried about your academics, you have to show them your study plan and you have to promise them to always put your academics first. The next and most important point is you have to show your dedication to your work and to your dreams. Us as teenagers, we pass through many phases. So if you don't show your dedication and do hard work, you would just prove to them their point that this is just a phase, this would pass, but you have to be dedicated and work hard to show them that this is a dream, this is an opportunity for change, and it would change your life for the better. The next point is that you have to be specific when you come to address your dreams and goals to your parents. Like if I come to address my dreams and goals to my mom and I say, "Mom, I want to be a painter," this would be too vague. I'd have to be specific. I say, "Mom, I've been painting for years. I found scholarships and I found universities, etc., etc." This would give them reassurance, and reassurance here is key. Parents want to be reassured. They want to find the steps. They want to see the steps to the way of your success. They have to trust you and trust the process. Next and most, and the next to wrap all we've said, achieving your goals may take time, but finding someone who would support you would take even longer. But by dedication, hard work, and and by dedication and hard work and good communication, you would see that they would start to understand and support you, maybe in ways you didn't even know they can before. But always remember that a 1,000-mile journey always starts with a single step. So keep chasing your dreams and never give up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alia, for that amazing start. So before we move to the next speaker, Alia, I think very important points that you mentioned. Don't throw your decisions on parents like bombs. Don't make their life disrupted. Give them the time and the space and the context so that they understand what are you really trying to say. And essentially, if you think you've made a good decision, if you think you'll be able to follow through on your career goals, only and only then, bombard everyone else around you with those decisions. For a very simple reason, what Alia very well mentioned, that don't give them the opportunity to think that, okay, this is just a phase that will go off. So prepare well before you really, go and tell your final decision. Do discuss the career options with them. But when you come on your final decision, take your time. Do that research, then have a good communication plan to put it in front of your parents. And I think that will give the right kind of solution. Thank you so much, Alia. Let's now listen to a school leader. What's their perspective on it? What are the kinds of fears that the parents bring to their table? What are the kind of solutions that teenagers have? And what happens when teenagers bring totally unconventional career choices and the parent goes bonkers that, oh, I don't know anything about this. What to do about it? So what is their perspective on, really bridging this gap between the parent and the teenager? A very warm welcome to Dr. Gurdeep Kaur, the former principal of BBSB Memorial School from New Delhi, Delhi. Gurdeep ji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
I think parents always, want to give best to their children. So if the children want to convince their parents, I have put this under 4 C's, I would say. It's like communication, uh, collection of data, the caution, and then is the conclusion. So, as I would say, the first is effective communication. Like everyone has great ideas, but how you put forth your ideas to convince your parents is of utmost importance. So, if effective communication is there, the parents can understand that if there is a particular dream or choice of career or maybe a choice of subject, then what is the reason or logic behind that their child wants to follow or chase those dreams. Second is collection of data. Like if the student has done his research, he is just not talking to his parents, just random or just any talk. He is giving proper data. He has done research that what is the reason, what are the perspective, what are the different options, and even what would be his action plan. So if his dreams or his goals, what he wants to achieve are smart, it would give a very clear picture to his parents. Then next is about cautions. So before he starts discussion with his parents where he want to put forth his ideas, he should take some precautions, like the discussion should be in a very cool atmosphere, in a very relaxed atmosphere. He should set the right tone, and he should start with I statements. So to begin with, he can say, I want to pursue this particular career because it matches with my aptitude. He can explain this to his parents. So aptitude is the natural ability to excel in a particular field. So if he says, I want to become a DJ, and then the parents are keeping some, like medicine or doctor line in mind. So if he gives his presentation, he gives us logic so that they all come to a common ground, that what are the prospects, and then addition of action plan, that this is how he is going to pursue. And of course, if he needs the financial support, especially from the parents, the action plan has to be very crisp, and it is not going to be like in one discussion. The communication has to be, many times. And when he is giving them an idea about aptitude, he can support with his examples. Like he can say the famous cricket player Sachin Tendulkar, because he had, multiple, if you talk about multiple intelligence, his domain of kinesthetic was, tapped on. That is why he became a cricket player. And if this child has a spatial, intelligence, so he can tell his parents that you are thinking about engineering, but I'm not good in logical or mathematics. So I will be a moderate engineer, but I will be an excellent architect. So this is how you convince your parents. You take their feedback, and then the last is criticism.
So some important points that you talked about: look for the right kind of atmosphere. Don't talk to them in a very stressed kind of an ecosystem. When you interact with them, do your research, ideate well, give them the right kind of options, give them context that, okay, this is where I'm coming from, this is what is I am expecting out of this. When you do this discussion with them, give them the space to criticize you, give them the space to give you feedback. You have to create a cordial atmosphere, and most importantly, when you want financial support from them, you must know your numbers. What are you really talking about? Go a little bit deeper in your career research. Think of them as an investor. Prepare your investor deck very nicely. Prepare your pitch very well, so that when the person in front of you listens to you, they get inclined to put money in you as an individual. Most importantly, remember, exemplification always helps. Give them the right kind of examples, that, okay, this is the kind of stream I want to get into, and these are the kind of success stories that it has. These are the kind of failure stories it might have. Give them the reality check, because that will become a reality check for yourself, improving your own decision making. Thank you so much, Gurdeep ji. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Miss Archisha Tripathy, who's a grade 9 student from Nigeria. Archisha, please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and the next 3 minutes are yours. And a very warm welcome.
Namaste, respected dignitaries, esteemed guests, and my fellow visionaries. When we talk about dreams and goals, it's often a battlefield with the former and the latter generation, or our parents and us. Yes, our parents want what's best for us. They want us to be financially stable, secure, and well respected in society. But their idea of success leads more towards conventional paths like a 9 to 5 job, which may not align with the passions of the later generations of students who have more unconventional careers in mind. And that's where the real challenge lies, convincing our parents that our dreams are not just fleeting whims, but often deeply rooted ambitions. To address why this concern arises, we need to know where it comes from. Our parents' primary concern is stability. They fear that pursuing unconventional careers like fine arts may leave us vulnerable in the competitive world. And to some extent, their concern is quite valid. But here's the truth. If a person who is pursuing a 9 to 5 monotonous job every single day and comes home drains, they'll be far worse off than a person who is doing what they truly love, because their passion fuels their performance, leading to excellence and eventually success. But words alone won't bridge this gap. As young dreamers, we must prove that our aspirations are worth their trust and time, and actions speak louder than promises. We need to show our parents our passions, like taking up internships or certifications, so they realize this is not just a phase or a hobby, but our future. Next is the idea of public validation. In many households, parents find comfort in the approval of a third party, be it a teacher, a mentor, or a society at large. We need to let our achievements in our field serve as proof that we are better than just another face in a crowd. For example, in the film industry, we can take the example of the director Zoya Akhtar. She broke all societal norms and pushed through family resistance to become the big name in the Indian filmmaking industry she is today. In the end, we must understand that this is not a battle or a war, but a journey with mutual understanding and respect. And the path to building this generation gap lies in showing our parents our dreams are not about us. We need to show them that these are not dreams but goals we are working to. And we need to show them that this is not a castle which we built on clouds, that this is what we're building where our passion meets purpose and progress. And they should soon know that our success is also inevitable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Archisha. I think very well articulated that yes, this is not a war that you're fighting it out. This is basically a conversation to converge so that you can come onto a point where they give you their experience, you give them your disruption, and you're able to find out a middle ground. Because the new generation brings in the right kind of energy, and the older generation brings in the right kind of wisdom. So, what you need is a blend of all of this. Now, how do you create that blend is most critical in these conversations. One important point that can be taken ahead from her Archita's conversation is that yes, a lot of households look for third party validation. They're looking at if somebody, a teacher or somebody they consider the right kind of individual or the person who is successful in life. So look for the kind of people that your parents are really looking up to, and can you convince them? Because convincing them will help you figure out answers to questions that you haven't asked yourself. It will help you delve deeper into what you're really proposing. Thank you so much, Archisha. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Dr. Harmeet Bhalla, the principal of Khalsa Girls Inter College from Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. Harmeet ji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Well, thank you, Daksh, and thank you so much for inviting me on such a sensitive topic today. Like, and first of all, I feel that every parents love their child and they want them to excel in their field. So the points on which I would love to speak is, first of all, I would like to say that the child has to prove himself in front of the parents because he or she has to excel in that subject. Suppose if we choose the subject Sanskrit, it is only in India, but now it is well spoken and well read today. And parents are unaware of all these things. So I feel the child has to prove himself in front of the parents that he is doing very well and that subject is his favorite subject. And parents are unaware of all these facts that what will be the future of the child if the child chooses such a subject. Will he be having a perfect goal or not? But it is not like that. Every subject, I feel, as a principal, has a very good future now in the present for the present generation. Next, I feel that the children should request their parents to meet the teachers because the teachers can explain very well about the subject and about the future. Third, I feel is patience. A child should have patience because Rome was not built in a day, and I feel slow and steady wins the race. Next is the display of your creative talents. The child should take part in whatever, debates, writing competitions at state level, national level, and should excel in that same subject, in that field, so that the parents feel proud that their child is really doing well in it. Next, I feel is organizing yourself. A child should organize himself because he should not be in a dilemma, he should stick to that one subject. So, in that, he will excel. And of course, I feel the conversation should be very friendly. Child should not get into heated arguments because nowadays we are seeing because children don't have patience and sitting with the parents and discussing such a sensitive topic, they often get angry and even the parents get angry. So I feel this topic is a need of the day, and children should of course parents should listen to their children. As a school principal, I feel every day we are facing this problem in our school, and I'm so happy that I'm speaking on this topic. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I think you're very right when you say that schools get in these conversations nearly every single day. Because there's some or the other parent who's hurt by the aggression the child has shown during this kind of a discussion. The problem is the parent is also considerate, but the emotion flows so high that we forget the information that we were there to discuss about. The child gets agitated very easily. The parent does not understand, how to really deal with this situation. Am I dealing with the emotion or am I dealing with the information that the individual is sharing with me? So it gets very difficult as a conversation. So I think this whole topic really boils down to this one important pillar, that it's far more about your communication at that point rather than your own decision, your research, your understanding. That will all play a part in it. But most importantly, are you patient enough to deal yourself in the right way so that you're able to receive and have a good conversation? Your patience will become a superly critical factor in making the right kind of a decision. Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Ms. Ese Godwin, who's a grade 8 student from Nigeria. Ese, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and a very warm welcome.
Hello everyone, good day. My name is Ese Godwin and I'm from Platinum Billionaire Marine School, and I'm here to share my ideas in what I think about these parents, how to get my parents to know my ideas and my dreams. So firstly, we know all parents would like to listen to their children, so the children should walk up to the parents having a good heart, and also the children should not speak in a rude manner, because the way you speak is the way your parents will react to you. You should compose yourself, you should tell them what you think, and you should tell them the reason why you love this. And if a parent should tell you that this is not what you're going to be, then the parent should also consider that if my child is going to be in this subject or is going to be in this occupation, what do you think? Will he put in his best in working? No, he will not like it because he is not fully minded. He did not want the job, but a parent is forcing him. So what I think now is that you should be bold. You should be diligent in your work. You should be confident to talk, and also you should show interest. For example, if I say I want to be a teacher and I can't even teach my own siblings, it will discourage my parents. Yes, that's it, because you have to put in it and you have to be stagnant in it. You don't come here, mommy, I want to be a soldier. No, I want to be a policeman. No, I want to be a cooker. No, you must focus on one girl only, one girl. Thank you, sir. I give you all the glory. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ese. And you're very right. Composing yourself is very critical. And secondly, give them the evidence that you'll be able to do what you're really trying to convince them for. If you want to get into, army, if you want to get into a military anywhere, do you have that kind of a bodily strength? Are you somebody who's so much inclined towards physical sports? If you want to get into teaching, do you really have that kind of a talent where you can make somebody excited about something? Can you make people learn? Are you an amazing orator? Can you handle the stage? So give them those small little pieces of evidence so that they know that, yes, this is the individual who would fit right in that occupation. A very, famous Indian actor recently in an interview said a very nice statement. The parents are not against you. When you get into a career conversation with them, they're not against you. They are not ready to see you poor. That's all. They don't want to see you when you're not making money, you're in wrecked up state. That's what they don't want to see. So don't, and that this is the reason why some of the times their anger becomes a shield when they want to, stop your bad decision making. So understand their perspective as well. It's a conversation. Don't make it an argument. Keep it simple, keep it relaxed, so that everyone who's part of it adds to it rather than taking away the energy from it. So thank you so much, Essay. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Mr. Pramod Kumar Sharma, the principal of Sacred Heart School from Jharkhand, India. Pramodji, over to you for the next 3 minutes.
First of all, we have to understand what is the difference between dream and goal. Okay, dream could be you can become a doctor, but your goal should be very much strategic, that I have to complete MBBS in next couple of years. Again, your dream could be become a good personality in the world, but your goal should be yes, to become IAS, IPS, like that, and to crack UPSC. So that could be your goal. So see, parents understand everything about their child. There are no matter, they understand each and everything of their child. So actually, thing is ki parent feels that my child will be insecure in the future. So that is why they are very much conscious about their child. You can take the example of Three Idiot, that the one actor, his parent was very poor and he was becoming engineer, and another, he was engineer but he wants to become a photographer, and it was very difficult for him to make his parent understand about, okay, I want to become a photographer. Parent understand that today's markets are changing so frequently. Okay, today we are sitting in the age of AI and other things. So content writing, content writer, their job is going to collapse because of AI. So they understand it very, very well. So they feel insecure. So these things are there. So the thing is ki students should communicate their parent, talk their parent, and explain about their dream and what strategy they are going to make to achieve that dream, and that strategy to be explained very frequently to the parent. Then only parent will be convinced, and parents will help to their word, uh, and they will try to invest their time in getting the students' goal.
Thank you so much, Pramodji. The parent really knows the child. This is something that a teenager must believe a little bit in. They know you because they've seen you through. They're your parents at the end of it, so they understand what kind of a talent you really have. Will you be able to make it in a specific occupation or not? So use their experience well, because a lot of teenagers reject their parents' opinion by saying that yes, this is just prejudice coming out of the mouth of my parents. Don't do that. They have a part of the story. You must listen to that story. The parent brings in a lifetime of experience for you that you will be living ahead. So they give their complete life experience to you. Use that well. That's an asset that you have. Don't think of it as a barrier or a liability on you. Use their experience, share your opinions, but most importantly, go deep in your choices. Understand what you're really pitching for. Is it something that's really made for you? Or is it just a knack that's coming up and you just want to, satisfy your itch? Don't make it an ego issue. Make it something that's an informed decision. Take your time. And most importantly, for a teenager, it's very difficult to be patient, but you can't help it. That's the most important virtue you need during these discussions. So let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Miss Hania Hatata from grade 9 from Egypt. Hania, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Greetings, everyone. We all have a dream, but you know what's harder than pursuing them? Getting our parents to understand them. So, what do? Firstly, we have to talk to them. Most people, when they have goals or dreams and they intend on telling their parents, they say it up front, like, I want to be an Olympic athlete or I want to start a business. So automatically their parents respond with things like, this is nonsense, or go focus on your studies instead. So instead of being upfront, tell them the full plan. Break it down to them and give them some examples. Then they might start taking you seriously. And most of the time when parents push back, it's not because they don't support us, it's because they are scared. They worry about financial stability, career growth, and how we might handle failure. So instead of getting frustrated, understand their concerns. And most importantly, address it to them and then turn the conversation from a debate to a discussion. And then the quotation, actions speak louder than words. It's one thing to say, I want to be a filmmaker, but if you're already writing scripts, making short films, and practicing editing, these things show commitment. And when parents understand and see the effort, they start believing in it too. And lastly, involve them in the journey. Parents just want to be included, so don't push them away. Ask for advice even if you don't always take it, and keep them updated on your journey. When parents feel like they are part of your growth, they're more likely to support you, and over time, they might be your biggest cheerleaders. And getting your parents to understand your dreams isn't always easy, but it is possible. So involve them in your journey and understand their concerns, and most importantly, communicate. Later on, they will not just support you, but help you achieve your dream. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hania. I think a very important point that you talked about, keep your parents updated about your journey. Your friends know your journey far more than your parents sometimes. Your parents are involved in their own life, they have their own pressures, they have their own goals. So it's very important for you to tell them that why have I reached a certain conclusion? Why am I talking about this specific occupation? Why do I want to choose this career option? Because you have to tell them that, okay, this is what happened, this is what I did, this is what I've achieved, that's why I feel this is happening. Tell them the story. You have to understand humans only and only understand stories. We need that cause and effect relationship. In psychology, there's a very easy, simple concept that puts all of this together, which is the concept of story bias. Until and unless a human being does not listen to a story, they don't get it so easily. That's why your teachers are telling you stories in the classroom. You are telling stories to your loved ones. You are telling stories to your friends. You're telling stories to become the cool one. So also have a story for your parents. Tell them that, okay, this is what's going on in my life. That's the way I am articulating it so that they have context and they're able to support you. It's hard, but it's possible. And it's only possible if you are ready to take the effort. So the onus here really lies on the teenager. When the teenager goes to the parent asking that, okay, this is what I want to do, support me, or you are the bad guys. Don't do that. Take your time and give them the right kind of time. Thank you so much, Hania. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Dr. Preeti Goyal, the principal of Yaduvanshi Shiksha Niketan from Gurugram, Haryana, India. Preeti ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
नमस्कार एवरीवन। सबसे पहले तो मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि हमारे पेरेंट्स की सोच को समझना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारे पेरेंट्स हमेशा हमारी भलाई चाहते हैं। उन्हें उनकी सोच हमारी सोच डिफरेंट होती है। उन्हें हमारी सिक्योरिटी, स्टेबल जॉब और सेफ फ्यूचर सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी लगता है। तो उनको जज करने की बजाय, इंस्टेड ऑफ जजिंग देम, हमें उनको समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि वो अगर कुछ कह रही हैं तो किस वजह से कह रही हैं। अपने पेरेंट्स को धीरे धीरे एडजस्ट करने दे अपने आप में, क्योंकि कोई भी एक जो बड़ा बदलाव होता है कभी भी रातों रात नहीं होता। तो अपने पेरेंट्स को अपना ड्रीम समझने में, अगर आपके ड्रीम्स को समझने में समय लग रहा है तो उनको थोड़ा सा टाइम देना बहुत जरूरी है। और इन बिटवीन, टाइम टू टाइम, आप अपने छोटे छोटे अचीवमेंट्स अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ शेयर करें कि मैं जो ड्रीम देख रहा हूँ, मैं जो गोल अपना अचीव करना चाहता हूँ, उसके मैंने छोटे छोटे अचीवमेंट्स प्राप्त किए हैं, गेट किए हैं। आप उन अचीवमेंट्स को देखो ताकि आपके पेरेंट्स को ये लगता रहे कि यू आर ऑन द राइट ट्रैक। प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच को अपनाओ, अपने ये दिखाओ कि आप सिर्फ सपने नहीं देख रहे बल्कि उन पर काम भी कर रहे हो। जैसे अगर आप डांसर बनना चाहते हो तो उनके सामने परफॉर्म करके दिखाओ। इफ यू वांट टू बी अ यूट्यूबर, देन शो देम योर वीडियोज। और जब वो आपका टैलेंट देखेंगे, आपका मेहनत देखेंगे, तो नॉर्मल सी बात है, दे विल सपोर्ट यू। एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, पेशेंस को रखना। अगर आपके पेरेंट्स आपको किसी चीज के लिए मना कर रहे हैं तो उनसे गुस्सा ना हो, उनसे बात करना बंद ना करें, क्योंकि कोई भी पेरेंट पहली बार में हो सकता है कि आपकी बात को ना समझे। तो आपको हार नहीं माननी है, बल्कि प्यार के साथ और भी ज्यादा रिस्पेक्टफुली आप उनसे बात करें। अपनी जो प्रोग्रेस है उसको दिखाते रहें ताकि वो धीरे धीरे आपकी मेहनत को पहचाने और आपको सपोर्ट करने लगे।
Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am. I think a very important point that you really mentioned, that giving the parent the kind of space and understanding and not judging them. Teenagers, start on a journey of their own. Whenever they have this conversation with the parent, they start on their alter journey that, my parent does not understand. You start creating your own prejudice towards your own parent. Don't do that. Take your time. Don't, you're not there to judge them that, okay, my parent is lacking in this, he or she does not understand this, they don't have the background, they don't understand the new world order. Don't give them all of that, because that won't help. Even if they're able to judge, you won't be able to reach a conclusion. What you need is a career choice, not a judgment on your parent that whether they're able to do something or not. So look at it as humanly as possible. You have to give them that kind of a space so that they can understand, see, reflect, and then come back to you. Most importantly, give them evidence, give them the proof of the pudding that yes, I can do this, and this is based on these small little things that I have done or I have achieved. Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am, for the contribution. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Miss Somya Narang, who's a grade 11 student from Translam Academy, Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. Somya, over to you for the next 3 minutes and a very warm welcome.
Good morning, everyone. This is me, Somya Narang from Translam Academy, India. So today we are going to talk about on a topic how to get our parents to understand our dream job. So we have all had that moment sitting across our parents, heart racing, trying to explain our dream job, only to hear that that's not practical to study, or how are you going to earn from that career? It's just a hobby. It feels like they don't understand, right? But here's the thing, our parents grew up in a different time. Back then, success meant becoming a doctor, an engineer, or getting a government job. Creative careers, business, social media, those weren't even an option back then. So when they hesitate, it's not because they don't believe in you, it's because they are scared of the unknown. Instead of getting frustrated, let's talk about how we can help them to see our dreams the way we do. Think about it. Our parents spent their whole life making sure that we had security, stability, and opportunity. So when they question our choices, it's not rejection, it's just protection. Instead of reacting with "you never support me," try saying, "I know you want the best for me, and I appreciate that. But can I show you why this career can work for me?" This shift can turn a heated argument into a real mature conversation. So, words cannot really influence them, but your actions will. If you say, "I want to be an artist," show them people who are earning from their art. So, if you want to start a business, introduce them to entrepreneurs who make it work. And most importantly, start taking steps. Enroll in courses, build portfolio, do freelance work, or try to earn a little side income to show your progress. Because when they see you working hard and see you that you are achieve that that you are working hard for it, it's harder for them to doubt you. Let's be real. Our parents just want to know that we won't struggle. So show them your plan. Answer the questions that how will you earn, or how will you learn the skill that you need for that career, and show them your backup plan if you won't succeed. You don't have to know everything right now, but showing them that you have thought ahead will ease their fears. So, at the end of the day, convincing parents isn't about proving them wrong. It's about helping them understand. So, be patient, keep working, keep proving yourself, and one day they might be your biggest supporter and say, "We'd always knew that you'd make it."
Thank you so much, Somya. You're very right when you say it starts like a rocky road, but it's a pleasure when you reach at the end of it. So it's a rocky road in the beginning. It will take time. It will take effort. It will take a lot of work. It will take a lot of detailing when you talk to those your parents. And most importantly, the reason why we do these conversations at Blub World, if you're not able to do this at your home, if you don't have that kind of an atmosphere, just follow Blub World on YouTube or wherever you are. Pick up these videos. We talk about these careers, these conversations, and all of these things on our channel. Pick up these videos and show it to your parents. If it might not convince them to have a conversation, it will at least start creating an atmosphere at your place. You have to bring the right kind of stories, the right kind of conversation when you want to reach the right kind of decisions. Making a career choice is not an individual choice, because your career choice most of the times affects every single aspect of your family and their individual and collective lives as well. So you have to understand this is the point in your life when you really transform from an individual to a family. And when you start that journey, that is where society finds its genesis, because that's when you become a part of the community at large. You have to understand this is a group decision. You'll have to keep the whole group together. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a country to raise the right kind of a professional, to raise the right kind of a citizen, to raise the right kind of an individual. So I hope you'll be able to have better conversations, you'll be able to make better career choices, and you'll have far amazing decision-making skills by the end of this conversation. If you want to talk more about this, or if there's something else that you would want us to talk about, message us or comment on this video on YouTube, and we'll make sure we bring in better conversations at the Blub World Web Talks. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of the Blub World Web Talks. This was the 248th episode, and I think now the gap would have reduced between the parent and the teenager. If it hasn't, listen to the talk once again. Thank you so much, everyone, and have an amazing evening ahead.